It's a pang day.
Right, just like my previous video, I don't want to give any sort of average tips that you see on every little YouTuber's videos that you've already seen before, so I don't want to say anything, and anyone who is watching this video not even gain anything that you can use to actually improve your mental health using exercise. So number one, to be mindful in the session. So generally take part in the session and have your thoughts actually focused on the session. So if you know what mindful meditation is, it's the act of being mindful in the current present moment. And for example, be mindful in your breathing. So all of your thoughts is focused on just breathing and out, in and out. And that's what being mindful is. Imagine your day structure as a bar, like a rectangle, and this 24-hour is in this bar. Now, even while you're sleeping, if you're someone who doesn't have great mental health, it's probably stressing out you probably have negative thoughts for most of this bar, because your mind wants to eventually always be in that state of having negative thoughts, also stressing out, of panicking and stuff, because it feels like it's protecting you to always keep you in, for example, I say the red zone. The bar is pretty much always red. Adapt from, like, when you're fully deep sleep, it's pretty much always right. Being mindful of anything in the present moment takes you out of this red zone, because you're not stressing out or thinking about the future or the past. When you're in like a green zone, which is, imagine being mindful of the current moment. So I like, it's almost allocates 1 hour of this bar, or maybe a bit more or less in my exercise session, to essentially not think about anything else. So the way I see it is like a segment of green mindful time, where I'll go into the gym knowing that it's completely okay for me to not think about anything that stresses me out, that no matter how long I want to spend in the gym, anything, any big decision I have to make, any kind of thoughts that I have to kind of, or I feel that I should be sort of thinking, it's okay for me to not think about this just for the 1 hour in the gym, because it's not a valuable time to think about these things. It's more valuable for me to go and have a great session, have some green time. So we are mindful on the exercise, feeling the burn, instead of, concentrating on your mind, concentrate on your body for an hour, and allocating this works for one hour away to this. I found it such an easy sort of guilt-free way to essentially just reduce or even stop completely any kind of thoughts and negativity you've got in your mind, because you're essentially just saying, I'll have this later, let's have the session first, nice and clean session, without bad thoughts in your mind, and then afterwards we can help this, because it's not like you are gonna solve any kind of life crisis in the middle of a gym session. Exercising consistently puts you in a progress mindset. It's something I mentioned in my previous video, that gets all of a positive personality. Because of this, you become such a more positive person. With each exercise session, you make progress, and when you start seeing the results of that progress, you start realizing that you generally can make a difference in your life. You generally can improve your life. The way I always used to think about it was, past college I just about started weightlifting, and I sparred quite weak a lot. Like, we couldn't solve other guys my age, and so I felt like I was already behind. But I just kept on thinking about it as this idea of progress, that I was just essentially more and more every single day progressing closer to my dream goal of, I wanted to have like a fitness body. I wanted to look like muscular and jacked. how they do in the magazines, not like steroid level, but it's aesthetic. And I thought that was my dream, and I always used to think I'm not there yet, but slightly closer than I was yesterday. And having this of mission in my mind helped me through a lot of times. So I remember in particular, I got so bad grades from my exams. So in South College, so whichever year it was, I got some by grades, and I used to myself on the same results. So I thought, oh, these grades are bad, and I could be upset about them, or I could bring in this progress mindset and right here, right now, just go and revise a bit longer for the next exam. I said, if it put me in this sort of mindset where I always believe now that I can make a difference in the outcome, so I put in some sort of effort into making progress in parts of my life. It's made me such a more positive person. I feel like it's also reduced a lot of negativity in my life. I don't focus on the things that I can't change anymore, because you can't make progress on those. So I focus on the things that I can change. I try and just make as much progress as possible. Getting into exercise usually also means that you'll be changing your big diets. Now you could still have an awful diet that if well you exercise religiously, but chances are the more and more of you exercise and more diet will get better, and the more and more your diet gets better, and the more physical and even mental you should feel better. Now I have made a video that I eat a lot of junk foods on my exercise journey, which is true. I do because it's something that I love to eat. But having the cleaner diet does definitely make you feel better. So if this is something that is your goals of improving mental health, often you want to use exercise for it, having a clean, organized diet that you can trick as well, that you can even track as well. What definitely help you just physical wellness, improvement that you get from consistently hitting a certain number of macronutrients of calories a day, and making sure that those essentially clean calories. So I'm not just saying about like bad junk food like burgers, because I feel like you can still eat that sort of stuff, but obviously reducing sugar, reducing alcohol. I think being flexible with the types of exercise you do is also important. I am a bodybuilder, I do weightlifting mainly, and I already do so much further exercise sessions a little back, but if it's not going day like this, I have to go through this wars alone. So it's not my usual exercise, but it would be one of us today. For example, this is such a nice day out, enjoy it. And I feel like if you can enjoy exercise, it definitely would have improvements to your mental health. I feel like I'm blabbing on now, so bye, premium. So sure. So alright, boys, I'm out.